Welcome in everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Women's Basketball Weekly. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach, Mary Evans. We're going to talk a lot about Senior Day and get you ready for that. But first we look back at this past weekend, a close game at Bradley where you led for much of the game and couldn't put it away. And then a game where you had rare three-point shooting struggles on Sunday against Illinois State. Just maybe what are some of the takeaways from those two games?
I think there were a lot of positives from the Bradley game. We led most of the game. I think we answered a lot of their runs. And then we came into Sunday's game, and I thought we had shot the ball really well in practice leading up to it, and I just didn't see that coming. And I think we could have maybe put them in better positions to get some of those shots to be easier, but there were quite a few catch-and-shoot threes that we normally make that we miss, which obviously it hurts when you go 2 for 25. We usually would make 8 or 9 of those, and so there's a big difference of points. So we're just kind of left out there. And then we also had some communication breakdowns defensively, and I think we've got to focus on, as a team, getting tougher so that when we are having those nights, we don't have those communication breakdowns, we don't have those missed blockouts, and you can kind of make up some of those points and keep them. We finished with 54, keep them in the 50s as well, and I think that's got to be the maturation process for this team.
As we look ahead, Senior Day is always a special day on Saturday against Loyola, and maybe looking back at your experiences in the past, whether it's as a player or as an assistant coach, what are some of your memories or what's the story, or some stories about what Senior Day is like to experience?
Yeah, I think it's a really special day. I mean, it's the last opportunity that these seniors are going to get to play in the Arc and in front of their families and in front of their friends. So there's going to be a lot of emotion there for them. Usually that's a very positive thing, and they're excited. And, I think Illinois State showed that yesterday where it was their senior day, and those seniors came out and they all played really good basketball games. And, I think it's an exciting time. It's also a very sad time for some people because it's their last opportunity to play. But, I think we're going to prepare for the game, and I know that Allison and Meredith will be excited to play their one last time at the Arc, and it should be a fun day.
Let's talk about each of your seniors, and you have one that won't be able to play that's a part of this senior class, and Hannah Schaub. And boy, she's had a tough go with 2 season-ending injuries each of the last 2 years, but she's one of those players that always stays positive and is always enthusiastic. Just what's it been like, the way she's handled the adversity she's gone through? I
mean, I think that all the adversity that she has faced with her injuries is just making her a stronger person. And she is positive, and it's hard. You have that happen one time and you question why, and then to have the ability to work as hard as she did to come back and be in great shape, and for that knee to be as healthy as it was, and to have such a fluke accident happen this year and have it happen again. I think for her it took a couple days for her to kind of register what had happened and why, but she's really bounced back, and she's such a positive influence on our team, and she's so upbeat at practice, and she's still doing a great job of coaching the younger kids and trying to help them see what she was seeing on the floor, because she was really off to a great start and was really kind of finding her rhythm within our offense and defense.
Speaking of someone who plays a role without playing much on the court, Katherine Carlson, added to the program this season, comes from a winning background with our volleyball program here at Valpo. What has her addition meant to the team this year? It's
been awesome. I mean, she has so much energy, and she's an extremely happy person. She comes to practice every single day. She works hard. She's got a tremendous work ethic, and I think it's really remarkable, and it hasn't been able to be shown in a lot of games, but it's really remarkable how quickly she's picked things up. I mean, she played volleyball until November, basically, and missed all of the preseason, missed all summer, didn't do any basketball stuff, hadn't played since her sophomore year of high school. And so I think for her to contribute what she's even contributed in practice and the times that she's gotten on the floor, the thing that she's done, I think it's really remarkable, and it says a lot about who she is. And I think it says a lot about how much she cares about Valpo and Valpo Athletics, because she was willing to sacrifice what some seniors take as kind of their last hurrah free semester to have a good time in college and just focus on being a student. And she is, dove into being a basketball player and sacrificing her time. And I really appreciate it, and I think the young ladies on our team really appreciated it as well.
We've talked about Allison Schofield's storyline in the past. More than anyone else, she's had an opportunity to play much more than she did in the past this year. Just what's it been like watching the way she's responded to playing a much larger role than she did for her first 3 years?
I think she's done a great job. I mean, She's a very skilled basketball player. She's a great shooter, and I think she's kept herself in a position to have this opportunity, and she's made the most out of it, and she's a really good leader. She's a smart basketball player. She understands things really well. And so I think for her, I'm excited that she had this opportunity. And I think she bleeds Valpo, brown and gold. You know, her mom was an alum. She loves this school. And so I'm happy that she got the opportunity to contribute to the program. And, you know, she stuck with it. And she stayed with it, and she stayed through not playing, and now she found this opportunity. And that says a lot about her character, and I think it's just going to show what a successful person she's going to be moving forward in the future.
Meredith Hamlet has been a staple of the team the last 4 years. Valpo's played 122 games. She's played in 120. She started 118. What has she meant to this program?
She's played 120 out of 122 games, and you know, she gets nicked up and she tweaks ankles and she gets hit and she plays through it all, and she's a tough kid and she loves to play basketball, and I think she's worked hard to put herself where she is, and she's been great. And I think she could have, this situation for some seniors is hard. You have a coaching change and the style change and everything's changed, and she has embraced it. She has opened it with open arms. She's welcomed with open arms, and I think she's starting to figure out how to play within our system. And she's had a great senior year, and I'm happy for her. And I'm excited that she wants to coach, and I look forward to watching her career moving forward.
And lastly, I think this is a big day for the families and the friends and the support system, and that's always been good with this program. And just what does it mean to have the support of your players, family, and friends, and what will that mean on Saturday?
It means a lot. Our parents are fantastic. They travel, they support us, they support me, and I know sometimes that's not always the case, and I appreciate everything that they do. They've raised a group of fine young women, and I'm excited that I have an opportunity to coach those young women. You know, I talk all the time about our culture amongst our team and the team culture off the court, and that is a testament to how those young ladies were raised, and that all comes from their families, and I feel very fortunate to have the families we have here.
Excited to have them out on Saturday. Again, the game begins at 1 p.m. as Valpo hosts Loyola, the final chance to catch the team at home this season, and as we've talked about, Senior Day right here at the Arc. Until then, for all the latest in Valpo basketball, check out valpoathletics.com.